Begin transmission. Greetings, American citizens. We are Anonymous, also known as the Collective. Today's date is Monday, December the 4th, 2023. This is a message to those Americans that believe the corrupt politicians will continue to steal from the people and act above the law without consequences. This list includes American politicians at the state and local levels who have been convicted of felony crimes committed while in office by decade. This list encompasses the 2020s. Alabama State Representative Fred Plump, D., convicted of fraud. 2023 1. State Senator David Burkett, D., convicted of campaign violations. 2022, Arizona State Senator Keith B. R., convicted of fraud. 2022 3, Arkansas State Senator Jeremy Hutchinson, R., convicted of bribery, tax fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy. 2022 4. California local Los Angeles Councilman Karen Price, D., convicted embezzlement and perjury. 2023 5, Los Angeles Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas, D., convicted of bribery and fraud. 2023 6, Los Angeles Councilman Jose Huiza, D., pleaded guilty to violating the RICO Act and tax evasion. 2023 7 8, Los Angeles Councilman Mitchell Englander, R., convicted of obstruction in relation to a probe into alleged corruption. 2021 9, Colorado State Representative Tracy Bennett, D., convicted of perjury. 2023 10, Connecticut State Representative Michael D. Massa, D., pleaded guilty to conspiracy for stealing COVID relief funds. 2022 11, Delaware Auditor of Delaware Kathy McGuinness, D., convicted of conflict of interest and official misconduct. 2022 12-13. Florida State Representative Joe Harding, R., pleaded guilty to wire fraud, money laundering, and false statements involving COVID-19 relief funds. 2023-14, local tax collector of Seminole County Joel Greenberg, R., was convicted of sex trafficking. 2022-15, Hawaii State Senator J. Kalani English, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-16, State Representative D. Cullen, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-16, Georgia Insurance Commissioner of Georgia Jim Beck, R., convicted of fraud. 2021-17, Georgia Board of Regents member Dean Alford, R., convicted of racketeering. 2021-18, local Atlanta City Councilor Antonio Brown, D., convicted of fraud. 2023-19, Bleckley County Sheriff Chris Coody, R., pleaded guilty to sexual battery. 2023-20, Idaho State Representative Aaron Bonillina, R., convicted of rape. 2022-21, State Representative John Green, R., convicted of fraud. Illinois State Representative Luis Arroyo, D., convicted of fraud. 2022-23, State Senator Tom Cullerton, D., convicted of embezzlement. 2022-24, State Representative Eddie Acevedo, D., convicted of tax evasion. 2021-25, State Senator Terry Link, D., was convicted of tax evasion. 2020-26, State Senator Martin Sandoval, D., convicted of bribery. 2020-27, local alderman of Chicago City Council Patrick Daley Thompson, D., convicted of fraud. 2022-28, alderman of Chicago City Council Ricardo Munoz, D., convicted of fraud. 2021-29, alderman of Chicago City Council Procco Joe Moreno, D., convicted of filing a false report. 2021-30, Indiana State Senator Brent Waltz, R., convicted of campaign violations. 31. Kentucky State Representative Robert Goforth, R., was convicted of fraud. 2022-32, Louisiana State Senator Karen Carter Peterson, D., pleaded guilty to gambling with campaign funds. 2022-33-34, State Senator Wesley T. Bishop, D., pleaded guilty to making false statements. 2020-35, Maine State Representative Clinton Cullimore, D., convicted of elections violations. 2023-36, Maryland State Secretary of Information Technology Isabel Fitzgerald, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-37-38, State Delegate Cheryl Glenn, D., pleaded guilty to accepting $33,000 in bribes. 2020-39, State Delegate Tawana P. Gaines, D., pleaded guilty to misuse of campaign funds. 2020-40, Local Mayor of Baltimore Catherine Pugh, D., convicted of fraud and perjury. 2020-41-42, Massachusetts State Representative David Nangle, D., convicted of wire fraud. 2020-43-0, Michigan State Representative Jewel Jones, D., convicted of driving under the influence of alcohol. 2022-44, State Representative Brian Posthumus, R., was sentenced to 15 days in jail for operating while intoxicated. 2021-45, local Flint Township Clerk Kathy Funk, D., convicted of misconduct, ballot tampering. 2023-46, Detroit City Councilor Andre Spivey, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-47, Detroit City Councilor Gabe Leland, D., convicted of misconduct. 2021-48, Mississippi State Representative Earl S. Banks, D., convicted of fraud. Missouri State Representative Tricia Durgis, R., convicted of fraud. 2022. 50-51, State Representative Courtney Allen Curtis, D., convicted of fraud. 2020-52, Local Alderman of St. Louis Brandon Bosley, D., convicted of fraud. 2023-53, President of the St. Louis Board of Aldermen Louis E. Reed, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-54, Alderman of St. Louis Jeffrey Boyd, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-55, Alderman of St. Louis John Collins Mohammed, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-56, Nevada State Assemblyman Alexander Asfer, D., convicted of theft and lying about residency. 2023-57, New Hampshire State Senator Jeff Woodburn, D., convicted of domestic violence and criminal mischief. 2021-58, State Representative Robert Forsyth, R., pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assault. 2021-59, New York State Assemblyman Luis Diaz, D., convicted of corruption. 2022-60, Local County Executive of Orange County Edward A. Diana, R., convicted of corruption. 2021-61, New York City Councilor Chaim Dodge, D., convicted of fraud. 2021-62, North Carolina Auditor of North Carolina Beth Wood, D., pleaded guilty to a hit and run. 2023-63, State Representative Derwin Montgomery, D., convicted of fraud. 2021-64, State Representative David R. Lewis, R., convicted of making false statements to a bank. 2020-65, Ohio Speaker of the Ohio House of Representatives Larry Householder, R., convicted of racketeering. 2023-66, Local Toledo City Councilor Gary Johnson, D., convicted of extortion. 2023-67-68, Cincinnati City Councilor Jeffrey Pastor, D., convicted of fraud. 2023-69. Chairman of the Ohio Republican Party Matt Borges, R., convicted of racketeering. 2023-66. Cincinnati City Councilor P.G. Sittenfeld, D., convicted of corruption. 2022-70. Toledo City Councilor Larry Sykes, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-71-72. Toledo City Councilor Yvonne Harper, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-73-74. Toledo City Councilor Tyrone Riley, D., convicted of bribery. 2022-75-76. Cleveland City Councilor Kenneth Johnson, D., convicted of tax violations and federal conspiracy to defraud the government. 2021-77. Cincinnati City Council President Tamaya Dennard, D., convicted of fraud. 2020-78. Oklahoma State Representative Dan Kirby, R., was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. 2023-79. State Representative Ryan Martinez, R., pleaded guilty to driving under the influence. 2023-80. Oregon State Representative Mike Neeman, R., convicted of official misconduct for allowing rioters to enter the Oregon State Capitol. 2021-81. Pennsylvania State Representative Margot L. Davidson, D., convicted of theft. 2021-82. State Senator Mike Fulmer, R., was convicted of possession of child pornography and served 1 year in prison. 2020-83. Puerto Rico State Senator Abel Nazario, plug and play, convicted of bribery. 2023-84. Secretary of Education of Puerto Rico Julia Kelia, D., convicted of corruption. 2021-85. Local Mayor of Trujillo Alto Jose Luis Cruz, PPD, convicted of bribery. 2023-86. Mayor of Guayama Angel Perez Otero, plug and play, was convicted of corruption. 2023-87. Mayor of Guayama Eduardo Cedron, PPD, pleaded guilty to corruption for his part in a bribery scheme. Rhode Island State Senator Joshua Miller, D., pleaded no contest to vandalism and obstruction. 2023-89. Tennessee State Senator Brian Kelsey, R., pleaded guilty to fraud and the use of excessive contributions on behalf of a federal campaign. 2022-90. State Representative Robin Smith, R., pleaded guilty to fraud. 2022-91. State Senator Katrina Robinson, D., convicted of fraud. 2021-92. Texas State Representative Ronald Wilson, D., convicted of tax evasion. 2022-93. Wisconsin State Senator Kevin Shibelski, D., convicted of fraud. 2022-94. West Virginia State Delegate Derek Evans, R., convicted of civil disobedience due to participating in the 2021 United States Capitol attack. 2022-95. And there you have it, my fellow American citizens. I believe that a round of applause and a sincere thank you is in order. Bravo white hats, bravo. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. End transmission.